Hi guys!
This is Students on a Budget, and this is Jamila and Toby with you again. Today we will be talking about tips and tricks on traveling.
So please keep watching.
So you've been spending every day studying or working or doing both, and now you just feel like you need a break. So what do you do? How to decide where to go and when to go?
So our recommendation is, first of all, the time and the season. It really depends when you're going and where you're going. So for us, the best season is the shoulder season, which is in September and in May. Those are our two favorite months for traveling, simply because the cities and the beaches, they are not crowded and you can find your place, and sometimes you even have a whole beach for yourself. Sometimes you can find really great discounts because during high season obviously you have a higher price because there are many tourists. So during shoulder season it's a great value, plus you get into touch with the locals a little bit more. For the travel destinations, we suggest to go a little bit off the beaten track, and maybe you can try out a new country that maybe you just heard somewhere. For example, Albania is a very good destination, or Montenegro.
So once you settled on a destination, or even if you haven't settled yet and you want to check the prices first, good thing to do is check out different websites and look for different flights. So what we usually suggest to check is Skyscanner. And the best way to find the cheapest flight on your different dates is to choose a whole month in your search box instead of a certain date. This way you have an overview of different dates and on which day how much the flights are. And once you know which airport you'll be leaving from, which is also a good point, so you can look not only for airport that is closest to you or the capital city of the country you're living in, but make sure to look and check out different kind of airports around your area. Even if it's a neighboring country, you can still find really good deals to get there. Another option would be to look into car sharing, or what is really popular in Austria or Germany is Mietwagenheit. You can go on the website BlaBlaCar and enter your destination, and it will give you different offers of people who are private people and they're just driving on that route, and you can send them inquiries and ask them if they're willing to drop you off on that route.
Okay, our next big topic is, of course, you need a place to stay. So let's talk about accommodation. Our tip is to go for Airbnb. That's where you actually get a very nice, authentic touch. Plus you get into touch with the locals. That is also like another really big benefit. So compared to hotel rooms, Airbnb offers great flexibility. Plus they are a lot cheaper. You basically have different options when you go for Airbnb. You can book your own room, so that actually means you're living together with a local provider on the same property, or you can book your own flat, which means it's somewhere in a kind of a complex, and you have your own flat to yourself.
Once you're at the destination, the next question is how to get around. And in a lot of countries, the public transportation is actually already quite good, and there are many options from subway, buses, trains. In some of the countries that we recommended before going on that are not yet very discovered and still very, very beautiful locations, those countries getting a taxi is sometimes only a couple euros more than taking public transportation, taking a bus. And this way it gives you a bit more flexibility, and if you're traveling with your friends, you can just go ahead and share the cost, so that's also a good option. But if you'd like a lot more flexibility, if you want to check out different beaches, different restaurants, or maybe go hiking, then maybe you can consider hiring a car.
Our secret tip for the car rental is to book it in advance, because if you book it in advance, you can get really great discounts. Make sure that you visit one of the compare websites like Check24. You can find the link down in the description box.
And if you're staying in bigger cities, if you're doing a city trip, our recommendation is to go for free walking tours, and they're really, really good.
What you can also do, if you don't like the big crowds, you can download yourself an audio guide.
So those were just basic tips we thought would be useful to share with you. But of course we have a lot more information, and for that we're inviting you to check out our blog post. And always remember
To stay on the budget. Bye!
Bye!